The question is it necessary to pass through all the lower stages to reach the highest? Or can a plunge be taken at once? The modern American boy takes 25 years to attain that, which his forefathers took hundreds of years to do. The present day Hindu gets in 20 years to that height, reached in 8,000 years by his ancestors. On the physical side, the embryo goes from the ammonia to man in the womb. These are the teachings of modern science. Vedanta goes further and tells us that we not only have to live the life of all past humanity, but also the future life of all humanity. The man who does the first is the educated man. The second is the Jivan Mukta, forever free, even while living. Time is merely the measures of our thoughts, and thought being inconceivable swift, there is no limit to the speed with which you can live the life ahead. So it cannot be stated how long it would take to live all future life. It might be in a second, or it might take 50 lifetimes. It depends on the intensity of the desire. The teaching must therefore be modified according to the needs of the taught. The consuming fire is ready for all. Even water and chunks of ice quickly consume. Fire a mass of birdshot. One at least will strike. Give a man a whole museum of truths, he will at once take what is suited to him. Past lives have molded our tendencies. Give it to the taught in accordance with his tendency. Intellectual, mystical, devotional, practical, make one the basis, but teach the others with it. Intellect must be balanced with love, the mystical nature with reason, while practice must form part of every method. Take everyone where he stands and push him forward. Religious teaching must always be constructive, not destructive. Each tendency shows the life work of the past, the line or radius along which that man must move. All radii lead to the center. Never even attempt to disturb anyone's tendency. To do that puts back both teacher and taught. When you teach jnana, you must become a jnani and stand mentally exactly where the taught stands. Similarly, in every other yoga, develop every faculty as if it were the only possessed. This is the true secret of so-called harmonious development. That is, get extensity with intensity, but not at its expense. We are infinite. There is no limitation in us. We can be as intense as the most devoted Mohammedan and as broad as the most roaring atheist. The way to do this is not to put the mind on any one subject, but to develop and control the mind itself. Then you can turn it on any side you choose. Thus, you keep the intensity and extensity. Feel jnana as if it were all there was. Then do the same with bhakti, with Raja Yoga, with karma. Give up the waves and go to the ocean. Then you can have the waves as you please. Control the lake of your own mind, else you cannot understand the lake of another's mind.
Topic today is Kali, the approachable and unapproachable. What does it mean? So what we see is Kali in the temple is just we see and we worship, and she seems to be quite far away to really approach and see, to talk to her. And there have been a saying that in Sri Ramakrishna's life, there was Kali who in the human form, and Sri Ramakrishna, she was Sarada Devi. When Sri Ramakrishna says, who is serving me now and the one who is in the temple are same. So she was Kali for the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, and for she is Kali. So Holy Mother in the human form was approachable. We could go, talk to her, ask her the things, pray to her. She would bless and she would give mantra. And Kali temple, you just go and pray and you don't get any answer from her. At least we don't get. Sri Ramakrishna used to get. So it depends on what is our spiritual level. According to that, the deity or the Ishta is approachable or non-approachable. So for most of us, Kali in the temple becomes unapproachable, and the Kali in human form becomes approachable. Many say Mata Amritanandamayi, also a divine mother. You must have heard that. Many mothers are supposed to be divine mother. Aurobindo Ashram's mother also, and they call her mother and divine person. So those are where the divine mother's power is most manifested in those human beings, and they call them the divine mother's representation in human form, and they are, as it were, approachable forms of the divine mother. Kali, the divine mother, you have seen, for many is very, very fierce, very scary figure, having sword and decapitated human head, wearing the garland of human head and the girdle of arms. So it's very scary for many people, those who just see that. Some people even say that she is the goddess representing tamas. So that the devotee of Kali doesn't approve of that. She is not tamas, she is Trigunatmika. She is of all three gunas. She is tamas, she is rajas, she is sattva. All are there. In one of the stotras of Kali, it says beautifully, who is Mother Kali? It says, Tvam para prakriti sakshat brahmana paramatmana. Oh Mother, you are the original primal nature from which whole this universe has been created. You are the seed of that nature. You are the primary nature from which the whole thing has come. Tvam para prakriti sakshat brahmana. And you are the Brahman, approachable. Sakshat means you approach, you see. Brahman cannot be reached by senses or mind. Brahma, there the mind cannot go, speech returns back. That's what our scriptures say. And Kali is that Brahman which is approachable, which is Sakshat Brahmana, Paramatmana. Not only you are Brahman, that is very difficult to approach, but you are Paramatmana, you are Supreme Self. We have our self, individual self, which is the manifestation of Supreme Self. We are one with the Supreme Self. Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. Jiva is the individual self and Brahman is the Supreme Self. So here from the point of view of yoga, it says Tvam Paramatmana. And Tatto Jatam Jagat Sarvam. From you has come out this whole universe. Jagat Sarvam has come out from you. You are the source of this universe, this Srishti. And Tvam Jagat Janani Shive. Again said, Tutto Jatam Jagat Sarvam, Tvam Jagat Janani Shive. You are the mother of all, O auspicious one, O Shive. You are the all doer of good and auspicious. So it's very difficult to understand why such a terrible form has been seen by some sages and how she is worshipped so beautifully. For those who worship Kali, she is at all not a part of scary deity. She is very loving deity. There have been many worshippers of Kali in Bengal. Still, Kali is the most popular deity in Bengal, Assam, and other parts of India. So why is she so popular? She is worshipped everywhere. Durga Puja of Bengal is so famous. But Kali Puja is done much more times number in Bengal, in every house there will be Kali. Kali is the most adored deity in Bengal. So let us go to now the topic, Kali, the approachable and non-approachable. So first about the Kali. Let us know about something about the Kali, then we will talk about approachable and unapproachable. There is an old saying that don't judge a book by its cover. But most of us end up doing it not necessarily on purpose, but out of sheer habit. In our day-to-day life, we mostly approach something which is easy, familiar, comfortable, and tends to be in our favor, and we avoid things that initially seem difficult, unknown, and may require self-effort and further inquiry. Nonetheless, throughout life, we all seek eternal happiness, peace, and bliss by trying to follow different paths of spirituality, mostly according to our individual temperaments, hoping to realize our own divinity. Now, how do we approach this in the light of Vedanta? Vedanta says our real nature is divine, and the goal is to realize this divinity sooner or later in life. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, once a child of mother takes one step, then mother takes 10 steps to embrace the child. That's why worshipping God and mother is so fruitful and so fulfilling, so easy also. God is all caring, all loving. And like mothers, God nourishes us and is aware of our everything. Mother knows our mind more than anyone else, more than even us ourselves. Mother knows what is going through us, what is we are thinking, we are in trouble or not. Like that it happens. They say child is in US, mother is in India, and if some difficulty there in the child, mother will somehow come to know boy is in trouble or my daughter is in trouble. He's having some difficulty in body or other some financial trouble or something difficulty. And say, how are you? The day you want to hide your sickness, you are sick, you don't want to say to anyone because they will feel bad. That day mother will call you and say, how are you today? And you don't want to reveal yourself. That's how mother knows our inner feeling, inner thing. That is what God is. God knows. And that's why approaching God in the form of mother is very wonderful relationship between God and the devotee. There the devotee becomes the child and God becomes mother. And the motherly love that we have had in our being, in our life, that love comes to the God. So it becomes, bond becomes very close, very intimate, very strong, which in other forms may not be there. Dasya and master, the master and the servant. In that Dasya Bhava, the master, you perform the work of the master. Master, you please the master by your service. You are always looking forward which pleases the master. So it is about serving the master, serving someone. But that bond of child and the mother is not there. That can be very, very close. Hanuman and Sri Ram. He breaks, opens his chest and there is only Ram and Sita in his chest. That, always thinking of that. But for most of us, relationship between the child and mother is very intense. So God is mother and devotee is child. That is what Mother Kali, the mother, is. Swami Vivekananda says that we make God in our own image. Sri Ramakrishna says that how can we truly understand and love something if we are far away from it? We need to get closer and dive deep. Holy Mother says that one should have a true intimate relationship only with God, giving up the worldly attachments. So that seems difficult, but we somehow by mistake seem that attachment and love are same. So attachment and love, that's a big topic. Attachment is not real love. Love is things about the good of others, about the welfare of others. But attachment is that person should be with me. Attachment is very selfish attitude. It is about oneself. that I want that person so that I am happy. In love, you want that person should be happy, whom you love. Wherever he is, he or she remembers you, forgets you, just in the well-being of that person, your beloved person, is your joy. Tat sukha sukhitvam, says Narada. Real love is tat sukha sukhitvam. Happiness of your beloved is your happiness. That is the thing. But you don't have to, that he or she has to remember you, he or she has to come to you when you are sick, in the time of a need. Not that. That comes from attachment. So attachment is not love. It is a selfish attitude. But love is very selfless, very divine attitude. So that love in the mother. That's why not worldly attachment, but love. That's what is remembering to God. So say you were at a party and someone asked you what god or goddess you worship. But if you said Kali and showed them a picture of her, there is a pretty good chance they would be apprehensive and fearful. Extreme, like beautiful Mother Durga, but afraid of Kali. We like Vrindavan dancing Krishna, but not the one who engaged Arjun in a battle, huge battle of Kurukshetra. He should be playing flute and dancing, and that's so much loving, eating butter, Vrindavan Krishna. The one Krishna who says, go and fight and kill Drona and Bhishma. Some of us are saying, how can God say, kill Drona and Bhishma, his own guru and his own most loving grandsire? And Sri Krishna says that. What type of God it is? The one who are not born with Hinduism or with our Sanatana Dharma, they are very apprehensive of such teaching. How can God say go and kill? God should be like Jesus, always loving, always kind, always forbearing, not retorting, not resisting evil. So that's how it becomes difficult. For us, we know that is the dharma sthapana. If you are a kshatriya, it is your duty to fight who is on the side of adharma, injustice, whoever that be. That is the dharma of a kshatriya, of a one ruler, of a warrior. Whoever is on the side of aggression, that should be neutralized. That's what Sri Krishna reminds Arjuna, who was that. So Kali absorbs all the demons, whether they be shame, doubt, desire, ignorance, ego, fear, or any other afflictions we might find ourselves suffering from. There is nothing she won't take, and if that's not benevolent, I don't know what it is. So that is Kali is the most benevolent deity, because she destroys Asura, Rakta Bija. What is that Rakta Bija? It is not something that happened in Purana, in Markandeya Purana, in Durga Saptasati, where Kali. Kali has to kill Asura that is in us. And what is that Asura? Kamadi Khala Bhanjanam, Khaladala Bhanjanam. So Kamadi Khaladala is there. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are different forms of Asura. Six-headed Hydra. This has to be killed. We have no power to kill. They always, we try to control anger. But it comes out when there is something that is unpleasant to us. We don't know how something we are not aware of it comes out. So who will help us in controlling this Asura? It is Mother Kali. That power which controls these all Asuras, kills that, we'll call killing the demon. Those demon has to be killed, demon in us. A wonderful therapist who once addressed lack of faith in a certain situation, he said, I am your library. Whenever you don't have faith of your own, come and take the book out from my library, because I have got plenty. Kali is like that in a certain way. If you can't handle something, imagine offering it to her. If there is some part of you that feels unlovable, give it to Kali. Like Shiva accepting whatever is bad. Hala hala came during Samudra Manthana. No one was able to control and neutralize that. It was going to destroy the whole universe. Then to whom it was offered? Shiva requested, all gods went there, hala hala has come, Asura, they were all together. Who will do that? Shiva took it and he drank it. There was no way to neutralize that hala hala, such a great poison, danger for creation was that. Shiva drinks poison. Kali accepts all our weaknesses. We can just give, Mother, take care of our anger. Sri Ramakrishna gave everything to Divine Mother Kali. He said, this is good, this is bad, take both. He was not hesitant to offer bad, offer evil, offer kama, krodha, anything. Mother absorbs everything that we offer. That is the place which we can offer without thinking anything. For to Shiva, you have to offer nice bilva leaves. 3 leaflets are there. You offer Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva is pleased. Offer Ganga water, Shiva is pleased. Offer clean water, Shiva is pleased. But Divine Mother, you don't have to care. Whatever you have in you, something bad you offer. And she can, why she accepts? Because she can handle, she can digest. She has no effect on those things. She is the creator of all those. Only we have to approach Divine Mother Kali and offer those to her. She is ready to accept all our wrongdoings, all our mistakes, all our weaknesses, all our sins, whatever we have. Kali will drink the pain for you. She wants nothing but for you to discover your light, wisdom, and divinity. Sometimes unearthing those gems hurts. You might be called upon to give up things that you thought were essential to your definition of yourself. That is represented by Kali's skull, necklace, and shivered armed skirt. You can think of them as the things you let go of. Kali is tough love. She is an endless dancing primal force of nature, reminding us that truth, capital T truth, is not something we get from material things, but instead from our ability to let those things come and go without clinging or grasping. Kali is just like us, eternally dancing through challenges in order to become our most wise and tender selves. Kali the destroyer is often misunderstood because many hold the fear that she destroys those things that are light and good. While one facet of Kali is as a destroyer, the fear is unfounded because what she destroys is what cannot nurture the soul. She nurtures by clearing away that which would cause harm. Kali is depicted as having sword and skull and all those things. That sword that she wields is not to destroy us, destroy the creation. In fact, Kali is the one who creates. What does she destroy? She destroys asuras or demons, and see what does she do that for us? She destroys our ignorance, our ajnana, and gives us knowledge. That is the sword is meant for our protection, for our good is the sword that Kali wields. To destroy the demons which will harm us, and the demons, as I said, which are in us, known as attachment, then we might not feel it as protection at that moment in time. Later, once we have moved through the process, we realize how much better life is since we let go of what was causing us suffering. Eventually, we are grateful. We need Kali the destroyer when we are poisoning rather than nourishing ourselves, particularly if we don't realize what we are doing to ourselves. We need a strong spiritual hand to guide or push us out of harm's way. Kali is that guide. A helpful real-life example of this is a mother who snatches up her toddler as he runs towards something interesting oblivious to the dangers of oncoming traffic. In that moment, she has destroyed his sense of freedom and joy, and he may be angry with her, but she sees what he cannot. In our life, many things happen, which seem to be terrible, which we didn't want, which happens. But it is all hand of mother that is pulling us to protect us, to give some our way. They say when one door is closed, we are trying to go. Other door is open, and that is the better door. We have to always think God is with us, and He is always there to help us. That is the role of Mother Kali. It may seem why it didn't happen, but she has the role for us. So, like that it happens. In his perspective as a young soul, she is the destroyer. But as an older soul, he recognizes that his perception of destruction was incorrect, and that the reality was an act of much needed protection. I'll be very cautious about misinterpreting this. We should never act aggressively towards another person and then try to justify it as for their higher good. It is not our job to decide what is good for someone else. It is our job to work towards being an increasingly kind, brave, wise, and compassionate human being, radiating our presence for the benefit of all beings. There is a saying that the daughter knows father after she is 60. To know a father, it means 60 years of life. At a young age, she loves 5 up to 4. From 6, she says, father is good, but she's nagging, he doesn't give me freedom. You grow old, 16 years, father is terribly negative, he doesn't know the present time. And you are like, now you become 18, 20 years, then say, father is so much unconcerned, unconnected with the present world, present generation, and he's all old-timer. So then you grow to 40, then you grow to 30, you have your own child. Then you say, oh, getting child is, and nourishing her and raising him or her is so difficult. Then you start saying, it is so difficult, people don't know. And then when you are growing more, then you understand, yes, it is very difficult to raise your children. And then you compare with what you had got from father. And at 40, at 50, they say father did so much sacrifice for you. They sacrificed their own happiness, comfort to raise you. And at 60, you fully realize your dad, what a great person he was, how much he served, how much he guided to us for our good. So it takes 60 years of our life to understand what our parents do to us, what are our parents to us. Otherwise there is misunderstanding accordingly because they didn't allow us to do what we do. Teenagers, you will always find complaining about our parents. And they talk about themselves, what their parents do and what other parents do. Even the school children, sometimes they talk about against our parents. That is very common. And there was a very nice story. So the daughter was complaining against her mother. She doesn't allow me to do what I like. But my neighbor's mother is so good. She is always giving whatever her daughter likes. So then they say, oh, that mother is so good. Then I can do one thing for you. You go and stay with her, with that mother, and because your mother is not good, let that daughter come here and you enjoy the freedom from that mother. They say, oh no, how can that be? After all, my mother is my mother. So like that it happens. There is respect inside, but complaints galore are there. So those complaints we understand when we realize. Like that Divine Mother, like situations in life that we could not get what we wanted. We didn't become millionaire perhaps from here. I don't know if you are millionaire already. If you are not millionaire, why didn't become millionaire? And there he gives to Elon Musk and others, they become millionaire, trillionaire. But I just struggle for even having a little few $100,000. So he is very kind to that. God is partial like that. But not being a millionaire is such a blessing. All trouble with lot of money. Lot of money, if you are not in control of your wishes, it will drag you to. It's not a good thing to have money. Money is a power. And if you are under that power of money and start misusing it, it will drag down to very bad things of your life. It will come. Many persons who have owned jackpot, many cases have been studied. They become poorer than what they were before winning the jackpots. They start spending that money here and there in many things which were not usable. Very few are there who really could utilize that. So you need power to control that money power. So being a very rich person is very difficult. One, you hold on, you are miserly, hold on money. After you don't want to spend, you just want to increase your number in the bank, this thing. And then finally you become old and death comes. Now how to distribute that money is a big problem. Who will utilize that? I earned and kept that with so much struggle. I didn't use it for myself or for my children. But miserly person. For him that money becomes a source of big suffering at the time of death if it is not properly disbursed. And many people have that. All thinking of money, wealth, property at the time of death instead of thinking of God, where we are going. We are going, living world. Nothing will be of the world for us. So there is a story in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, talks about a person, and he says that he was at a deathbed, and he was so miserly at deathbed, he says, this wick of this oil lamp is burning too bright. Make it less bright. He's at the deathbed of the last breath. Still thinking of what is happening in the world instead of thinking of God. That may happen if you have a lot of money that you don't require. So the God as He has given us is plenty. Santosam paramam sukham. We should be very happy that God has met what we are. What we need to be, that God, Divine Mother Kali is there to make us what we fit in, what should be exactly us. She knows us, our nature, because she has created us. Another reason why Kali can often be misinterpreted is because she arises when we need her wrathful appearance and activity to conquer our inner struggles. Some inner torment simply can't dissolve with the guidance of our gentler deity. We need the fierce drive of Kali's higher consciousness to roar louder than our anger, fear, hate, or jealousy. Wrathful deities don't arise unless necessary. Remember that the peaceful and wrathful Divine Mothers are one. They assume the different forms to meet our needs. If you are fighting against Kali's wisdom, then you may feel like she is angry with you. But perhaps you are just projecting your own inner experience onto the goddess. Perhaps you are angry at yourself and the situation or someone else. When we go to the temple, or you see the picture of Sri Ramakrishna or Holy Mother Sarada Devi, sometimes you see they are very happy and they are smiling. Sometimes they seem to be angry. But that's our perception of the deity is according to our mind. If we are happy, pleasant, God will be happy and pleasant and smiling. She is very happy with you. If you are angry, have done something wrong, you are not happy with yourself, come and you will find God has, like his eyebrows are shrinking and he is unhappy with you. With Sri Ramakrishna picture you can have that. With a deity in the temple you can have that. So it is our inner feeling that is reflected in the deity. After all, what is the deity that we worship? Rama or Krishna or Kali or Ramakrishna. It is our own soul, own being which is perfect. We project outside and call it God, and we worship our own self. What is Sri Krishna says, Aham Atma Guda Kesa Sarva Bhuta Sahast. Everyone's self I am. I reside in the heart of everyone as their self. So self is Krishna himself. Self is God himself. And that God we cannot catch hold of. Kali is enlightened wisdom. She can appear as both angry and protective. But in truth, she is always and only protective. She is there for us to still the chaos, absorb the darkness, and give us the light of knowledge. You can feel comforted that she will provide the spiritual strength needed to navigate the darkness within and around you. When you need to do so, to be spiritually protected and continue your soul's journey, finding your way towards peace and joy, she will never usurp the place of the more peaceful divine ones in her heart, as she is simply another facet of the Divine Mother. The wrathful, enlightened energy of Kali, the destroyer, contests no anger or aggression. Wrathful, enlightened beings possess an immense compassion. Such energy arises if needed to overcome difficulties when gentler means would not prevail. There is a beautiful saying in the Durga Saptasati. I was saying that Rogana Sesan Apahangsi Tusta Rustatu Kaman Sakalan Avistan Twama Sritanam Nabipan Naranam Twama Sritahi Asrayatam Prayanti. Oh Mother, you remove all the disease and suffering, infinite roga, asesan, unlimited difficulties you remove when you are happy. But when you are rusta, when you are angry, when you are wrathful, rustatu kaman sakaran abhistan vinyangsi. When you are angry and wrathful, you are unpleased, displeased with someone, you destroy sakalan, kaman, their immediate desire and desire in future avista. But Twama Sritanam Navipannaranam, you are that powerful, who see wrathful to you, but who take refuge in you, there is no difficulty for those beings. Twam Asritanam Navipannaranam, to those human beings, there is no bipad at all. It's beautiful, that verse of Kabir. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kahe ko hoye. When people remember God when they are in trouble. But when they are happy days, they forget God and enjoy the world. But those, if you remember God in your happy days, there will be no suffering at all. So when we take refuge in Mother, Twama Sritanam, no, there is no unhappiness, they will never be angry. But what is their anger? Does she become angry to her children who do wrong things? Never. She never gets angry. It seems like she has become angry. She does something that is unpleasant to you. But that is for your good that she is done. Because we all are her children, we are all her creation. She can never become angry to us. Her method of teaching us is different when we are not behaving properly. So that is the only thing that it says. In the case of Kali, the destruction is of the obstacle, not of a person, and is an act of compassion, not of aggression. We may call it fierce compassion. This is when we are given what we need, which isn't always what we think we want. Fierce compassion can show up as a revelation of truth that we probably don't want to see. It asks us to evolve in a way that we are not sure we are ready for, though we probably know at a deeper level that we need to do it. Kali's essential nature is power, and as such, she teaches us how to own our power. Owning your power doesn't require that you cultivate aggression, anger, or hatred. In fact, I would suggest that if we are acting from such a place, then we are not in touch with our power at all, but are coming from fear. As we own our power, our inner state becomes more peaceful. Our discernment increases, and we give ourselves permission to live by that discernment. We can be compassionate and kind towards others without collapsing into people-pleasing. Kali is 100% for our complete spiritual liberation. If there is a pain in letting go, it isn't from Kali, it is from us holding on when we actually need to surrender. This is very different to destructive tendencies that are harmful, self-destructive, sabotaging, attitudes or negative intentions are actually what Kali protects us from, not what she encourages us to engage in. The grip of such negatives can be so powerful that only Kali's fierce presence is sufficient to wrest our soul from the attachments. And when we let go, we release not only the attachment, but the suffering it brought too. Kali the destroyer may look fierce, but she generates peace. The experience of wrathful wisdom is ultimately a kind and liberating one. The purpose is to bring relief. We may feel as though the universe has issued an ultimatum and we are at a point where we will either evolve or degenerate, and there is simply no more wiggle room to avoid making the decision. We may feel backed into a corner or forced to look at something we would rather avoid, but this is wrathful wisdom. Such wisdom gives us what we need. Enlightened wisdom is always working to our benefit. We may not see that immediately, but gratitude will eventually follow. Kali as the destroyer destroys obstacles and negativity, not people, blessing, or goodness. She ensures that we continue to make progress on our path and that any interference is eradicated. This is how she provides boons and benefits. She removes the things in the way. I think sometimes we subconsciously recognize that it is our own attachment or fear that is in the way, and we are reluctant to let that go. Yet Kali's activities not only ever serve the highest good and our best interest. Kali the destroyer is not destructive for the sake of it. To love Kali requires trust and understanding at a spiritual level. I have heard of people telling others to be afraid or to not pray to the Divine Mother in some of her forms, such as Kali or Dhumavati, Bagala. There are many forms of Divine Mother, 10 forms. Some are very fierce, some are very benign. Kamala is benign, Shodashi is benign, that is Tripura Sundari, is very benign form. But Mother, same Mother has very terrific forms. Dhumavati, Chinnamasta, Bagala, all are very terrible forms. People say don't worship them. And people also say don't worship other forms. But the Divine Mother in her all form is one. All forms. I had gone to New Zealand and there was people not of our religion, not of Sanatana Dharma, some other religion. Somehow he knew about Hinduism and was interested. He used to worship Divine Mother. And that time he says, Swami, I feel more attraction to Dhumavati. Who Dhumavati he wants to worship and he really loves. And he said Dhumavati is the one who is very free, independent to take her own decision. She is not afraid of anything else. So that impressed him, and he chanted the Devi Sutra Suktam and worship of Dhumavati and says, when I die, don't bury me, cremate me. So like that. And his wife said, Swami, he is saying like that, what our Biradari, what our community will say, they will not accept. But that much Divine Mother take possession of her children. He is a child of Divine Mother, and who Dhumavati is his favorite deity. So like that, every deity is for our good. Worshipping any deity will be benign. The people, those who love Mother Kali, don't see any fearsome thing. One person's daughter was being engaged with a white person, Anglo-Saxon, of Christian, a Christian Anglo-Saxon. So they thought they should take him to some temple, introduce to some culture. And the guy went with his daughter and mother-in-law to Kali temple. And he sees the temple terrible, and then he asks, oh my God, this is the God, this is God you worship? He says, yes, she's very benign, she's loving, she's all giving boon. Why do you say only her left hand? See her right hand. It is boons giving, she's giving fearless. Why don't you see her that? says, oh, this is the deity. Okay, who is standing on whose chest she is standing? Oh, she is her husband. Oh my God, I'm getting married to an Indian guy who worships this, and their wife stand on the chest of husband. What a terrible thing. He was a little shaken. So, but he loved the girl, and they got married. They have a wonderful child, and they are living very happily. But that person was very, very nice. That is the thing sometimes we get from Mother Kali, wrong idea. So the Kali image is so symbolic that Kali can be active when she is connected with the Brahman, with Shiva. With Shiva, only Shakti becomes active when she is connected with Shiva. Otherwise, Shakti is inactive. And Shiva also cannot act. She needs Shakti to act, to create, to preserve, to absorb. All she needs Shakti. So Shiva and Shakti are together. That's why the place where our moon landing was there for satellite, the name was given Shiva Shakti Sthal. So the place where highest wisdom and highest power, they work and they are together. It's a beautiful name. So Kali as the destroyer destroys obstacles and negativity, not people, blessing or goodness. She ensures that we continue to make progress on our path and that any interference is eradicated. This is how she provides boons and benefits. She removes the things in the way. Yes, about the Kali and different forms of the Divine Mother. We don't need to be afraid of Kali, even as the destroyer, even she is the destroyer. Though we should recognize that she is an expression of power and worthy of respect. Try transforming your fear into healthy awe, like you might have for this ocean when the swells are crashing on the beach. You can have reverence from that fear, recognizing the greater power before you. Then you are using your fear, creativity, and constructively Kali prayer. When you are ready to reach out to Kali for her wisdom, try using this prayer. Beloved Kali, the Mother, my beloved Mother, you who are gentle and protective, my beloved Mother of grace, please comfort me, please guide me. I place my trust in your unconditional love and enlightened wisdom. You clear the way for me to return to my heart, to you, to my true self, and my most beautiful life path for the greater good of all beings. How Swami Vivekananda didn't believe in Kali before. And difficulties came. He said to Sri Ramakrishna, please play for me. Because he knew Sri Ramakrishna's every word Kali listened. That he knew. But he won't himself believe in Kali. There was that problem, dichotomy in him. Kali, he doesn't believe, but believes that Sri Rama Kali is the greatest God manifested, and Sri Ramakrishna, she listens to Sri Ramakrishna. And whatever Sri Ramakrishna prays, that Kali does. So Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, she doesn't listen to you. I prayed for you so many times. You are in so much trouble, so much poverty, no work, no job, no money, and there are so many people to feed. Dire poverty. So then she said, I have prayed for you, my child, but Kali doesn't listen to you because you don't accept her. You don't accept Kali, you don't accept Prakriti. You go today to pray to her. You pray. And I promise that she will listen to your prayer. She will listen. And Swami Vivekananda went to this unapproachable Kali, whom he had never had faith in the image worship, that God resides in the image. And going there, he was filled with awe. There was no Kali, it was the Divine Mother, the great power was there. What he saw, didn't he say? But he said, it will die with me. This, what I saw. So then he went there and came back to Sri Ramakrishna after being there for a few minutes. And Sri Ramakrishna said, did you pray for help to you, worldly help? He said, no. Then why didn't you pray? And I totally forgot. I was so absorbed in what I saw. It was not image that I saw. I saw the divine being there. I saw God there. Then go and say now. He went there second time. Came back. This time you remember? This time also I forgot. What a person. You are such an intelligent person. You have so much control over your mind. And you forget this thing that you need so much for a family. Sri Ramakrishna rebuked him and sent him again third time. Third time he goes and he remembers. And then what he prays for? Mother. Because he forgot. He was in almost samadhi-like thing in the 2 times. Seeing God in front of him. And he says, Mother, give me knowledge. Give me devotion. Give me discernment, viveka, vairagya. Give me discernment and renunciation. And give me your uninterrupted vision, O Mother. All his disbelief are washed away. Going to the Kali temple, Kali the unapproachable, becomes so much approachable that he asks for that. All devotion to the Mother and uninterrupted vision. Kali came to his life. Sri Rama came back. Did you ask for the things? Help, worldly helps? No, I could not. Why? Oh, see, going to God and asking for money, health, food, clothes. It was like going to a king and asking for, give me potatoes and pumpkins. One approaches king, does he ask such things? He asks for wealth, big car, or like 747, something jet like that. So he doesn't ask for pumpkin and potatoes. And I didn't ask that. I felt that way, asking for those things. Then what did you ask? I asked for uninterrupted vision or love and knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and discernment and renunciation, detachment. I asked for those things. Those are worth asking to God when you see Him. Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, you couldn't do that. But I say to you, you will never have dearth of coarse cloth, simple clothing, simple food and simple clothing. Mota kapod and bhat. You will not have dearth of food and clothing. So Sri Ramakrishna blessed what he wanted. He could have done in the beginning. He could have said, okay, he will get all the things. No, he sent him to Kali because there was one big obstacle for his preaching the Sanatana Dharma. He was not accepting image worship, which is so much spread. Without that, how Sanatana Dharma will be complete? Sanatana Dharma is meditating on self as the real truth self, as the Brahman. That is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma also is reading, chanting books. Sanatana Dharma also worshipping deity in the image. Without that, how he will be fully representing the Hindu religion, which is so widespread and has varieties of ways of worship. All has to come to him because he was going to be a preacher of Sanatana Dharma, preacher of true religion for all. So Sri Ramakrishna guided that. And when he came back to Sri Ramakrishna, he said, can you please teach me some songs of the Divine Mother? He used to sing so many songs, all Nirakara Sangita, all Brahma Sangit, all songs on Brahman he used to sing. Not a single Kali song he sang, because he never visited Kali. And that night he says, can you teach me the song, Kali song? And Sri Ramakrishna taught him, Ma Tvam Hi Tara. Mother, you are the Redeemer. To be para to para. So like that he taught, and when morning somebody came to visit Sri Ramakrishna, he said, you see Naren, he's sleeping now. Whole night he sang the song of Kali, he learnt and sang. He's now tired and sleeping. And he had accepted Kali. Isn't it great that he had accepted Kali? So many times Sri Ramakrishna wanted to say, image worship is a path of Sanatana Dharma. Is a path to realize God. He himself has realized God by worshipping Mother Kali, by being a priest of Mother Kali. And here is Narendranath, wisest person that he has seen in the representation of Narayana in Nara, and he is not accepting the image worship. How will he preach Sanatana Dharma? How will he become a Jagat Guru, preaching the Dharma, preaching the Upasana and way to enlightenment to mass of people? So if you don't accept all things, then you cut off from the majority of the people of that. So he accepted. Sri Ramakrishna was so happy that day. Everyone who came, you see, Narendra has accepted Kali, isn't it great? So that is how the Kali, the unapproachable, became approachable. He found he is in the presence of the Divine Mother. We don't need to be afraid of Kali, even as the destroyer, though we should recognize that she is an expression of power and worthy of respect. Try transforming your fear into healthy awe. When you are ready to reach out to Kali for a wisdom, try using the prayer that I just said. Then sense, feel or intend to connect with Kali as if you were a cub with a mama bear, if that resonates for you, or a child with her mother. Feel free to alter the words or imagery so it strikes a chord in your heart. Rest in that until you find a sense of peace and security within. This may be a process for you if that sort of bonding and trust is unfamiliar. Don't give up until you find that deep bonding in your own heart with the divine being that resonates most for you at this time. It is worth the persistence. If you can overcome your fear by understanding Kali's true motivation, then you will have a powerful protective ally close to you always. Goddess Kali is portrayed in diverse forms across India, largely reflecting the various ways in which she has merged with the local traditions and cultural fabric of different regions of the country. Kali is derived from the word Kala, which means both darkness and time. It is believed that Kali represents the force of time, carrying both destruction and creation of life and the universe. Thus, this goddess is unique in the way she is formless and absolute, and at the same time capricious in her ever-changing form. She reminds us that every minute is constantly destroyed. Every minute is constantly destroyed in the cycle of time. Kali is perhaps one of the most misunderstood goddesses because although she may look terrifying, unique, strange, yet intriguing, extraordinarily ordinary, like Holy Mother, Kali only has your best interest at heart. Yes, I am that Kali too, said Sri Sharada Devi. Now we are coming to the Kali, the approachable. Sri Ramakrishna said, the one, when Swami Adbhutananda, he was not a sannyasi that time, Latu, he was serving Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. And he used to meditate a lot. For hours he used to meditate. And he was meditating under the Panchavati. Sri Ramakrishna came to him and disturbed his meditation, woke him up from the meditation, deep meditation he was. And says, the one on whom you are meditating is now kneading the dough in Nahavad, in a small room where Holy Mother stayed. Go and help her. That will be the real service. That will be the greater thing than your meditation on God. The one on whom you are meditating is now kneading the dough and go and help her. So for Sri Ramakrishna, Sarada Devi was Divine Mother Kali and nothing else, supreme power that is incarnated as that. And Kali's mother was often asked after Sri Ramakrishna, who are you? Very seldom she said, I am Kali, but at times she said, yes, I am that Kali. Only one incident once she said. But there are many incidents in her life when people saw divinity, her form transformed into a form of goddess, and people, those who were serving, massaging her feet, suddenly felt that whom I am massaging? People say she is Divine Mother, but she is so old, her bones have come, all nerves are, all veins are visible. What is that? Suddenly he felt that it is a feet of youthful woman, and she looks at face is the Divine Mother, all with tender, with love, totally transformed. That servant that was serving Holy Mother could not keep his the sense, and he fainted seeing this form of the Holy Mother. So that was sometimes she showed her real nature, but not always. It was the spring of 1920. Holy Mother was leaving Jairam Bati for Calcutta. So Shivram came from Kamarpukur to see her. Shivram was her nephew, Bhatija. He arrived at Jairam Bati around noon and informed the mother that he would stay there that day and return to Kamarpukur the next day. After lunch, the mother told him to rest and go back to Kamarpukur in the afternoon with some fruits to offer to Raghubir, their family deity. Shivram replied that he had done the worship for that day. He had even finished the evening worship and put the Lord to bed. Stunned, the mother said, "What is this? If Raghubir and Shitala are worshipped in this way during your lifetime, then imagine what will happen when your children take charge. Have you not heard how my father-in-law worshipped Raghubir with great respect and devotion?" Shivram replied, "Aunt, it will be fine. It is only a matter of one day. Today I want to stay with you." After saying that, Shivram went to take rest in the parlor with the monks. Meanwhile, the Holy Mother made a bundle of fruit and vegetables. She had Brahmachari Bharada called Shivram at 4 o'clock. The mother said to him, "Raise Lord Shiva, Lord Raghubir from bed and perform the Vesper service and the food offering. Whatever you have done is like giving a noon rest to the deity. Don't worry, when you come to Dakshineshwar, you will see me." Then the mother told Varada, "Carry this bundle and go with Shivu. Go with him up to Amarpur on the other side of the Amodar river, and then come back." With tearful eyes, Shivaram bowed down to the mother and left with Varada. On the way, he did not say a single word. After arriving at Amarpur, Varada handed over the bundle to Shivaram and returned to Jairam Bati. In the late afternoon, the mother began to cut vegetables for dinner. Varada was seated near her. Suddenly, Shivaram came back with the bundle in hand. He prostrated at Holy Mother's feet and said tearfully, "Mother, tell me what will happen to me. I want to hear it from you." He came back, he didn't go to Kamarpukur. Mother replied, "Shivu, get up. You have nothing to worry about. You have served the Master so much. He loved you dearly. You have no more to fear. You are already free even in this life." "Mother, please take all my responsibility for this life and the next," Shivaram said. "You told me about your true nature previously. Please confirm that once more now." Holy Mother was trying to console Shivaram by caressing his head and chin, but was a little perturbed by his overwhelming emotion. She said calmly and gravely, "Yes, I am that, Kali." Shivaram then knelt down before her and chanted this salutation mantra: "O consort of Shiva, the most auspicious of all auspicious beings, O doer of all actions, O refuge of all, O three-eyed goddess of golden compassion, O power of Narayana, I salute you again and again." Just look to the past. Both Kali and Kali in human form are approachable. That's why we have quite a number of people who have approached both Shiva and Krishna. Because God is always approachable. Because God is beautiful. Truth. Jnanavan, Rupavan, Balavan. That's what is said about the Ishvara. Sadaishvara Yukta. God is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. Truth, infinite. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Satchid Ananda is the only and always approachable in whatever form. Whose Divine Mother takes away all our weaknesses by force sometimes of the devotees. And that's called wrathful benevolence. But Holy Mother also takes away, when we pray to her, whatever is negative in her by her positive, silent and benign benevolence. So that both are same in different forms. Even if we get in our life jolts in our life, those are also for our good. We should not complain for anything wrong and bad that happens in our life and take it as the blessing of God. One person told very nicely, whatever happens to us in our life is, when it happens something bad we don't want, that happens, it is Ishwar Ichha. And when something good happens that we want, it is Ishwar Kripa. Whatever happens is by either wish of God or the benevolence of grace of God. So God is always the giver of what we need, and sometimes when it is there. So beautiful songs in the beginning about the Divine Mother, both. One Divine Mother, another one Rama. But there is no difference between Divine Mother and Rama. There is no difference between Kali, Buddha, Krishna. All are same divine divinity manifested in different forms. All are approachable. All are dear and attractive. And we should have praise to all. That will be our worship of God in different forms. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, I don't want to do poem of the Sanai. Sanai is the poem. I want to play music. There are so many music comes, so many ragas, raginis come through the instrument. Why to say only one voice, only one sound to come? I don't like this monotony, worshipping God only in one form, one way. God is formless. Just done. I don't accept God with form. I say God is only with form. He is in the form of Kali. He is in the form of Krishna. Nothing more than that. How can God be formless? Not that. I want to enjoy worshipping, thinking of God in all the forms that He reveals. All different forms, as the Christ, as the Buddha, as Jesus, as Vaheguru, in all forms, as Allah. All are different forms of God. People of this world, the mankind is worshipping. And God appeared to us in different forms. He has given different names and different forms to us. Enjoy every form. Enjoy every way of worship. Wow, Swami Vivekananda said, the tenacity of the worship of Muslims, how they worship 5 times a day, that's what the devout Muslim we do. Which other religion does 5 times a day? Hindus do in the evening some puja, Christians do Sunday service, Sunday going to church, finish. But the devout Muslims will do 5 times a day. They will do wherever they are. So devout, they don't even see they are in the plane. You will find in the plane also sometimes Muslims will spread a mat and start doing their namaz. So that is how they are devoted to the worship, method of worship. These are all wonderful things of mankind. Appreciate, let us appreciate their devotion, their way of worship, instead of saying, oh, what is this, everywhere they do that way. They do everywhere, represents the wonderful devotion to God they have. May we also have similar devotion to our deity, always remembering them. Hindus are asked not to remember only 5 times. We are supposed to do japam always. Remember God always. And japam should be so much that every breath repeats the name of God. In fact, when we breathe, Sanatana Dharma says, we repeat the name of God. When we say outside, we exhale, it is Soham, Hamsa, Soham, Hamsa. I am that. It all remembers of that. As when we do namaskar to anyone, we don't do namaskar to the person. We do namaste to God residing in you. I bow down to God that is in you. That's how you're breathing. Breathing also is the repetition of God's name. We are always connected through our processes, but we need to connect through our mind and heart. When we connect to God with our mind, God is always approachable. Anything that happens to us is all beneficial, and it is love of God. So I would like to close with what Avanish sang, and in Tulsidas's song is very nice. Mama Hridaya Kanja Nivasa Kuru. Oh Lord, oh Divine Mother Kali, reside in my heart. Reside, so that I always see you. You are with me. Not in the temple only, but you are in me always there. You are always approachable to me. In Vedantic term, it says, Hasta Malakavat. God should be like the myrobalan, amlaka fruit in your hand. Whenever you want, you can see. It is there, it is approachable, most easily approachable. Sit in my heart, Mama Hridaya Kanja Nivasa Kuru. Oh Lord, please reside in the lotus flower of my heart. Kamadi Khaladala Ganjanam. And destroy all my weaknesses and impurities, beginning from Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And make me enlightened. May I realize God in this very life. Sri Ramakrishna said, the purpose of life is only one ultimate purpose. All other things in life are temporary purpose. To get a job, to pass exam, and to feed well and have a decent life. All are secondary. Only main ultimate purpose is to realize God. And God realizes when it happens, we have reached the goal. All things have come. All our desires have been fulfilled. All our desires have no more desire lives. It remains after we realize God. All desires fulfilled. As it is said in the Tvamasritanam Nabipannaranam, Tvamasritahi Asrayatam Prayanti. O Divine Mother, may we surrender to you. And I know that whoever truly surrenders to you becomes an object of surrender, object of refuge for others. Tvamasritahi Asrayatam Prayanti. Those who want refuge, he gives succor, knowledge, peace to those persons who want that in life. Whoever is God realized holy person, we all tend to go when we have trouble. That's what we find, peace in that person. We had Swami Ranganathananji, our 13th president. Very wonderful speaker. People called to him second Vivekananda. He traveled all over the world, and he used to come every year as the spiritual ambassador of India. He used to go. And one lady was there who saw him at very young age in Delhi. She grew up and became a doctor in India. But she had all the trouble in life. You know how there are troubles when a woman is growing at that time. It's not like now. So she had trouble, and she came to Ranganathananji. And 1 hour she told all her wells, all her woes. And she went on speaking and crying all the way. And Swami Ranganathananji didn't say any word. He was just listening quietly what she was saying. He didn't interrupt even. And at the end, Swami Ranganathanji says, from this moment, all problems of your life are solved. No more problems are with you. That much word he said at the end. Then lady came out and she says, I felt so much light in me. My all problems were really vanished. I have no worries, anxieties, tensions, all were gone. How this happened? Holy company. Blessing of a monk of that stature. So monks, holy persons, the one who has taken refuge in God can create that miracle. What happened to Swami Vivekananda? One youthful American family goes, husband and wife, and they had a lot of problems. Swami Vivekananda says about the life and the problem and the reality of God. Problems are not of the soul. Soul is always separate from what happens to the world, to the body and mind. He said in such a convincing way, because he already had realized those, it entered there. They come out from Swami Vivekananda. And the husband says, life now seems meaningful. They were contemplating to give up their life. Life seems meaningful. All their negativity of life is gone because they had approached a person who had taken refuge in God. So let us take refuge in God. Let us be a source of peace and joy to others. Bahujana Sukhaya, Bahujana Hitaya. May our life be dedicated